Welcome students. Let's continue with the metals and non-metals chapter. And in this part we are going to discuss about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So let's first discuss about the physical properties of metals. So first, what are the physical properties of metals? So the first physical property of metal is that the metals are generally solids. Okay, but mercury is an exception, which is a liquid metal at room temperature also. It is a exception case here, and it is liquid metal at room temperature also. Next is the metals are hard. Okay, they are hard, but metals like potassium and sodium are soft metals which can be easily cut with knife only. Okay, which can be easily cut with knife only. The metals are hard. Okay, they are generally hard, but metals like potassium and sodium, okay, they are soft metals which can be easily cut with knife also. They are that much softer. Even we will see that the metals such as sodium, they are having that much softness that if any small amount of pressure is being applied on them, so they will easily change their shape. Okay, they can easily change their shape. The third physical property is that metals are lustrous. Okay, metals are lustrous. It means they have shiny surface. It means they have shiny surface. And their shininess can be increased by polishing. Okay, metals have shiny surfaces and their shininess can be increased by polishing, such as gold, silver. Okay, they can, and copper. Okay, and copper, their shininess can be easily increased by polish. Next, metals have the ability. Okay, they are malleable. Metals are malleable. Metals are malleable. What does it mean? They have the ability to withstand the ability to withstand hammering and can be made can be made into thin sheets known as foils. Okay, it can be made into thin sheets that is known as foils. For example, a sugar cube sized a sugar cube sized chunk of gold can be pounded into, can be pounded means by hammering. Okay, the hammering process, we can convert it into pounded into thin sheet of gold that can cover a football field. Okay, it means that the gold is one of the most malleable metal. Okay, it can be easily converted to very thin sheets, and for example here it is taken that very small sized, okay, a sugar cube sized chunk of gold can be easily pounded into thin sheet of gold which can easily cover a football field. Means you can see that how much thin we can form the gold. Okay, how much thin we can convert it into. And some of the malleable metals other than gold are copper, silver. Okay, they are also some of the aluminium also. Aluminium also is one of the most malleable metal which can be easily converted into thin sheets. In your home also you are using aluminium foils for wrapping around the foods, for keeping it more hot. Okay, so they are some of the examples for the most malleable metals. Next is the ductility. Metals are ductile. Metals are ductile. So they can be easily drawn into wires. They can be drawn into wires. For example, here we can take 100 grams of silver can draw 200-meter long wire. Okay, it can draw 200-meter long wire. Similarly, gold can also be converted easily into wire. Generally golds which are being converted into wire form by the jewelers, they convert them into a wire by their hand only. Okay, they does not heat the gold or something other. They generally convert them simply into wire by using a simple plier or cutter only. Okay, wire cutter. And by holding that particular gold wire, okay, there they use a die there in order to convert them into wires. Next is the valence. Okay, next is the valence. So generally metals are electropositive. Metals are electropositive. They possess valency from 1 to 3. Okay, they possess valency from 1 to 3. It means that they can easily remove one electron from their outermost shell to 3 electron from their outermost shell. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. They are good conductor of heat and electricity. While there is some exception here, the exception is that lead is the poorest conductor of heat and it is one of the metals. We will see that we can here observe that mercury, bismuth and iron, they are also poor conductor of uh, electricity. Okay, they are also poor conductor of heat and electricity. But why the metals are possessing that much of good heat and electricity conduction property? The reason is that they are metallic bonds. Okay, the reason is the metallic bond which is possessed between the atoms of the metals. So here we can understand the metallic bonds as sea of electrons. Okay, C of electron. Metallic bond are nothing other than the C of electron. If I am considering a C here, which has been denoted by these zigzag lines, so here this sea of electron is concluding that all the electrons are present such like that they can flow from one atom to another very easily without any obstacle. They can flow from one atom to another, and here the positive nucleus of the atoms of the metals, they are being placed out here just like this. I am placing them here. Okay, and they are termed as kernels here. Okay, they are termed as kernels here. They does not move here. Okay, they are immovable, but the electrons from one atom of the metal can move to another atom of the metal very easily, and hence we can consider that particular this particular kind of property of the electrons which are present, which are possessed by the metals here, as the sea of electron. They can easily move from one atom to the other atom, one atom to the other atom. Okay, and hence the metallic bond, due to the presence of this metallic bond only, they are having very good conduction property for electricity and heat also. Next is the density, the next physical property according to which we are going to uh, see the property, that is the density. So metals have high density. Okay, they have high density, high density, and due to this reason are very heavy. Due to this reason they are very heavy. Iridium and osmium are the most dense metals, while the lithium is the lowest dense metal. Okay, it is the lowest dense metal. The next physical property which we are going to see here is the melting point and boiling point of metals. So metals are having high melting and boiling point. High melting and boiling point. And in that also, tungsten has the highest melting point. Okay, it is having the highest melting point as well as boiling point also. Boiling point temperature. Okay, it is having the highest melting and boiling point temperature. Melting point and boiling point temperature. Tungsten possesses the highest melting and boiling point temperature, whereas mercury has lowest. Sodium and potassium are also having, sodium and potassium, they are also possessing low melting and boiling points. Boiling point temperatures. So these were the physical properties for metals. Let's see the physical properties for non-metals also. Okay, so for non-metals, physical properties for non-metals. So first is the physical state. So most of non-metals exist in two or three states of matter. States of matter. For example, at room temperature, they are gases such as oxygen, okay, and they can be solid also, such as carbon. The example for solid non-metals, they can be carbon, that is coal, diamond, okay. They are generally solid in the room temperature only. Only bromine is a non-metal, okay. Only bromine exists as a liquid at room temperature, okay. It exists as a liquid at room temperature. Only bromine is there. Next, non-metals are non-lustrous, okay. They are non-lustrous except phosphorus and iodine, okay, which possess luster. Next, non-metals non they are non-ductile, okay. They are non-ductile. Non-metals are non-ductile and possess low tensile strength. Low tensile strength. While non-metals are also non-malleable also. Malleable and possess brittle nature, okay. They possess brittle nature. When they will be hammered or pounded, they will convert into small pieces, okay. They will not convert into or cannot be rolled into wires or cannot be pounded into sheets, but they will convert into small pieces there, okay. And due to this reason, they are termed as brittle, okay. They are termed as brittleness. They possess brittleness. Non-metals are poor conductor of electricity except graphite, okay. Except graphite, which is also a non-metal, and it is a allotrope of carbon, okay. It is the allotrope of carbon, and carbon is non-metal only. So due to presence of free electrons in graphite, due to presence of free electron in graphite, they are good conductor of electricity, okay. They are good conductor of electricity, while other non-metals, they are bad conductor of electricity. As we know that uh, non-metals are low dense, okay. They are non-metals which are gases possess low density, okay. They possess less density, low density, while the solids, they can be denser, okay. They can be highly dense also. The melting point and boiling point, the melting point and boiling point for non-metal, for non-metal is generally lower than metals. Okay, it is generally lower than metals, but are highly variable. Okay, it is also highly variable as that of the density also. Okay, it is like only density, it is also highly variable, but generally it is lower. Okay, but generally the melting point and boiling point are lower than as comparison to that of the metals. The last is the non-metals exist under standard conditions as diatomic molecules, while metal does not possess this property. Okay, they generally exist as diatomic molecule, that is hydrogen, dihydrogen, dinitrogen, dioxygen, difluorine, dichlorine, and dibromine and iodine. They all generally are in the form of dimolecules on this structure. Okay, so these were the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So I am giving you a homework that you have to differentiate between metals and non-metals. Okay, you have to differentiate between metals and non-metals into tabular form, into tabular form. And all the properties which I have discussed here, they must be included there. Okay, don't make two or three columns only. Sorry, don't make two or three rows only. At least 5 to 6 rows must be there, and the example row will not be counted out there. Okay, it must be different. So these are the different physical and chemical properties of the metal. Sorry, these are the physical properties of the metals and non-metals. In the next class, we are going to start the chemical properties for metals, and then in the further class, we will continue that particular thing with the chemical properties of non-metal also. So thank you for this session. We will conclude this particular chapter in the next session. Thank you.